And it is game day. It's not just game day, guys. It's playoff game day. We've been waiting so long, Roy, to don our playoff jerseys for the Vancouver Canucks to actually play a meaningful game in August. Yes.
Yes,
Actually, this is the first
in
time
August.
I've ever done my August jersey. I'm so excited. There were so many hockey games to watch. I literally stayed up till 1 a.m. watching the Oilers play Chicago.
Why?
I don't know. I'm sure they were up to 1 a.m. watching defensive tapes.
Yeah.
Turnovers aplenty. A lot to take out of the game so far. No fans. Players maybe starting a bit slow, not really amped up like they should be. Defensive coverage pretty poor. Shots really high. Lots of scoring chances. Lots of penalties.
Yeah.
What does this mean for Vancouver going into the big first game here?
Well, if we're going to base it on their play with Winnipeg, I think it bodes well for Vancouver. If they can play that with that kind of intensity. I really like their game against Winnipeg, actually. I thought they outplayed the Jets, first of all. And the young guys looked really good. I didn't like our fourth line. That was suspect. That maybe we can talk about that a bit later. But the goaltending, I thought was fine. I thought Jacob Markstrom actually played okay. It's when we had 2-on-1s with open nets. I mean, I don't know what you want a goalie to do. He even got a piece of it, actually, on the Ehlers goal. But I think looking at what teams have done, young guys come up flying. The thing is starting fast. Look at Chicago, 4 goals in the first period. Calgary, 3 goals. They went up 3-1. Like, you have to jump on your opponent. Montreal, 2-0.
Yeah, Carolina scored in the first minute, and the Rangers were chasing the whole time.
So you have to score early. And so Vancouver, I know Travis Green said something about patience and it's a process and all this stuff. There is no process in this. You have possibly only 3 games. So you gotta jump. The first game is huge. You can't lose the first game. You can't be down 1 game and expect to win the next 3 of the 4. So you just can't. You have to come out strong and fast and right away.
I mean, the coaching staff has to absolutely look at what's happened so far and really look at how teams have started slow, and how, like, Edmonton was a perfect example. And when, watching that game, I was really thinking, like, this team matches up in a lot of ways to Vancouver. Poor defensive coverage, like they allow a transition to occur. Down low coverage, getting the puck out is a bit suspect at times, but they're high-powered offense, and that was not a great start for Edmonton. And hopefully that's information for Travis Green to have a look at and sort of realize that it's not, we're not going to wait for the game to come to us, because Minnesota will already be up 1-0. I mean, everybody's saying already Vancouver in 3, Vancouver in 4, Vancouver's going to win. That is all very dangerous, because Edmonton very likely could have been going into that Chicago series thinking, we got this.
Well, who wasn't picking? I mean, McDavid scored that early power play goal, and everyone just assumed they're going to walk all over him. And then Kubalik comes out and goes, actually, I'm a young player, by the way, and I'm up for the Calder as well.
5
and
points.
I'm actually amazing. And so I'm going to break a record, Chicago Blackhawk record Steve Larmer used to hold. And the thing is Edmonton was horrific 5-on-5. McDavid all the way down the lineup. 5-on-5, they could do nothing against Chicago. Chicago penned them every single time. The only advantage Edmonton had was the extra man. Edmonton's power play is one of the best in the league for a reason.
Yeah.
Vancouver has to look at that and go, okay, number one, we can't take penalties.
Mm-hmm.
We can't give Minnesota 2 minutes to be 1 man up and force us to play this defensive system. We just can't do that. Number 2, 5-on-5 is huge. So if the indication that I look at the Winnipeg game, because I see similarities with Winnipeg and Minnesota, they play a hard game. They're big forwards. There's some similarities there between the 2 teams and their style. Winnipeg is a little flashier. They got Connor and Scheifele got hurt in the series, but they had good offensive guys, where Minnesota, I wouldn't say have those elite offensive guys, but Minnesota have guys that can put the puck in the net. Fiala is decimated Vancouver in the last couple games. Foligno is a big body who likes to hammer people, so they got their Furland over there too. I just think that if Vancouver played how they played against Winnipeg, they came out hard. I think they're going to be fine. I really do. Defense, it's that closing down guys and not giving up those easy, 20-foot shots in the middle of the ice. Like, you just can't do that.
No, no. So
Turnovers.
I think
Right?
it's absolutely key that Vancouver really uses the opportunity that they weren't in the first set of games here to look and reflect upon what's happening with a lot of the other games. Something else I saw in a lot of the other games was just a slower pace and players not actually playing physically. Like it almost looked like an exhibition game. I mean, not the Winnipeg Calgary game, that's for sure. But
No.
to me, that was the game that resembled most closely an actual playoff game. So Vancouver has really had this opportunity to have a look and see what the officials are calling, how other teams are coming out of the blocks, the impact of the young players. I mean, I don't know, Roy, if there's going to be any changes in coaching decisions as far as who plays. So we're probably still going to see Sutter Beagle, Mott playing on that fourth line. I hope, and what I don't want to see is I don't want to see Beagle and Sutter taking penalties. Now, if we're at a point where our fourth line is actually taking penalties, that's where we're in trouble. We're in trouble, and something will have to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. Their role is to kill penalties, but they can't kill their own. So you can't kill a penalty if you're in the penalty box. The other thing that I think is big for Vancouver's too is when you look at the teams that were successful, they got shots on net, lots of shots on net. And so, Calgary outshot Winnipeg. Pittsburgh was the anomaly. They outshot Montreal significantly, but Carey Price was the difference. But Vancouver, I think, in all of the exhibition games, had the most shots on goal in any exhibition game because they peppered Hellebuck with almost 40 shots in that game. Hellebuck played amazing that game. I don't know if you were able to see it, but he played incredible.
Of course.
He showed why he's a Vezina Trophy winner, or a finalist. I think Vancouver, if they play that kind of style of game, I think they can do some damage against Minnesota. I really do. Especially like Besser. How many golden opportunities did he have? And the thing is when a goalie is making big saves, what do? You start picking corners because they get in your head, and that's what happened. I don't think Minnesota has the goaltending, so I think Vancouver can play the same style of game. I think they're going to score some goals. I think they can score in buckets actually, but
what they do
have to continue to put pressure on the D though, and they did that against Winnipeg.
That's it. They have a top four that they're going to roll out for about 80 minutes of the game that are going to be really tough to get through to get to the net. But Vancouver has now forwards that can get to the net. Pearson and Furland and JT Miller. These guys can get there and allow perimeter space. The question will be that they don't play this Jekyll and Hyde game like they did against Winnipeg. Half of the game they look like a serious force, like a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And then for, as Travis Green alluded to himself, there's about 8 minutes where they just sort of folded a bit and just allowed Winnipeg just to come at them, and turnovers, lots of turnovers, and Markey was really standing on his head in, a lot of situations. So they can play that 60 minutes and come out with speed, and let the youth really, really take them there, and be kind of find that motivation where there aren't fans and there isn't that pressure. That'll be really where Sutter, Beagle, Miller, Edler, this is where these guys need to get the guys amped and ready to go and make sure they are ready to go.